Hello everyone, thank you very much for clicking and for watching the video. If you're new to the channel, welcome. This is the free game collection, hope you enjoy it. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Thank you for joining me once again, appreciate it. So this week, two things I want to do before we get started with what we've picked up this week, and it's been quite a good week, I must say. So first thing, I want to say thank you to a subscriber called Retro Wappers, who sent me a message on Instagram and asked if I wanted something. So he found this, I don't know if you remember, but I picked up a Xbox 360 controllers a couple of weeks ago, and they were in absolute fantastic condition. He asked if I wanted this box to put it in. He doesn't collect for Xbox 360 and he picked this up. So he sent this to me. So thank you very, very much, because I've never ever come across a boxed Xbox 360 out and about. Never ever, not once. I couldn't really picture what an Xbox 360 controller box looks like, so I'm going to display this in the games room. So thank you very, very much for sending that. Really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Other thing, quickly, let's put £2 up there before we get going into the cash total, because remember I picked up that copy of The Incredibles on GameCube and I said, well, I'm just going to leave that on Vinted. Someone bought it for £2 the other day. So lovely. So let's stick £2 up. So we made money before we even get started. So let's get started. So this is all from the charity shop, from Car Boot basically, and we've got a good little selection, a good variety of games across a couple systems here, and I did have a very successful trip to the charity shop, so let's start with the charity shop. So first thing, 20 pence for this. It is a DVD, the complete second season of Sanctuary. I picked this up because I've been watching a few people picking up DVDs, and I've started to figure out that B-movie horror and box sets from series that you don't really hear much of. I'd never heard of Sanctuary anyway. I apologise to any Sanctuary fans out there. Pick them up because they can go for a little bit if they're cheap, and you get a little bit back on a voucher for that. So I picked that up. So I will keep an eye out for DVDs to help us with the gaming side of things, but 20 pence, fantastic. And these were in there as well. Same charity shop, one trip to a charity shop. So these were on a different shelf. These unfortunately were not 20 pence each, but the games were £1 each. The three I picked up are absolutely fantastic. Let's do this one first. £1 for Lego Lord of the Rings. I don't know how many times we've picked this up in the last couple of weeks, but it's been a few. I'll keep picking it up every time I see it. £1 for that, absolutely fantastic. These two, £1 each. Grand Theft Auto 5 and Minecraft. Absolutely buzzing when I saw those sitting in there. I looked at so you notice they're on the same shelf. This one's got the £1 on it. This one just had gift aid. So I was talking to the till and thought, what are they going to ask for these? They just put it through as £3. Absolutely buzzing, fantastic. So £3 for those from the charity shop, brilliant. That's probably one of the better charity shop finds I've found in the last couple of weeks. So really good trip to the charity shop there. Rest is the car boot. So let's start with a failure, because we should always acknowledge the failures, because everything isn't always golden all the time. So I picked these up for £2. They're PS2 portable controllers. So I bought myself a set of these a little while ago. They're not cheap. They're about £20 on eBay and Amazon and the rest of it. So I picked these up for £2. I was absolutely buzzing. They're fantastic condition. They look brand new. Walked away. Seconds later, I suddenly realised there's none of the adapters that you stick in to the ports on the PS2. So how am I going to connect the controllers to play on wirelessly? You can't. And unfortunately, looking on the internet, you can't really buy replacements for them either. If anyone knows any different, please put it in the comments, because at this moment in time, I think I've got two PS2 controllers, although in lovely condition and wireless, and they definitely work, by the way, plugged them in, they take batteries. I've got no way of hooking them up to one of my PS2s, which is really disappointing. So I can't do anything with those. I still need to do a little bit of Googling to see if there's any way I can sort of save that situation. If anyone knows, please put it in the comments. I'd really appreciate that. But yeah, this point in time, I didn't think too much. I mean, I only spent £2 on them, so it's not the end of the world, is it? But yeah, I went from being really buzzing picking them up to seconds later just like questioning myself, thinking, what on earth have you just done? It's not like you're going to turn around and ask for your £2 back, is it? So anyway, bit of a dud there, but they might come good later down the line. So games, a good variety of games here on all sorts of platforms. So let's start, shall we? So these are worth £3. She wanted £2 each, but she said I could have two for £3. Call of Duty 2 on the Xbox 360. This one goes for a little tiny bit. I did play this quite a while ago. I don't remember it too much these days, but pretty decent from what I can gather. It goes for a little bit. And this one is a bit of a dud, but Shaun White skateboarding. Now I always see Shaun White snowboarding. I had no idea he had a skateboarding game. So I picked this up thinking this must be pretty rare, because I've never ever seen this anywhere. No, it's £1 in CEX, but I need it for the Xbox 360 collection, so I'll be keeping hold of this. But yeah, Shaun White skateboarding. The Shaun White snowboarding is absolutely everywhere, but I've never seen skateboarding. I thought I'd found a rare game, but I hadn't. So these as well, I think these were £1. He wanted £1 each for these. He gave me two for £1.50. So Ratatouille on the Xbox 360. I played this. This is okay. I didn't play it for too long, but from what I played, it's a half decent game. So it goes for a little bit in CEX as well. So I picked that up, Ratatouille. And then this one I picked up just for my collection, to be honest. SSX Blur. So I used to love SSX Tricky back in the day. I've never seen Blur before. It's a Wii game, so I thought I'd pick this up. It's in really, really nice condition. So I picked that one up for my collection. So £1.50 for those. Fantastic, really happy with that. Ratatouille has a good return on it. So this next one, so yeah, so there's a little bit of Wii Sport here. So 50 pence for this. A guy had a chipped Wii. He told me it was chipped outright. He had a booklet, and I started going through this booklet, and he had all the Wii games, all the Mario, every Wii game you could want was chipped in this little booklet. So I asked him how much for the Wii, and I think he only wanted 20 quid for this chipped Wii, and I ummed and ahed, but I thought, no, I won't get it. But in there was a real copy of Wii Sport. So I asked him if he'd take anything for just the Wii Sport. He said you can have that for just 50p. I was like, fantastic. So 50 pence for a Wii Sport, fantastic. In hindsight, part of me kind of wishes I picked up the chipped Wii. I don't know why. I wouldn't have got rid of it. I'd have kept it for myself. But yeah, you don't see that very often. Not very often at all. And then there was another guy. He had loads of Wii games, but they're all fodder. Really, really fodder Wii games. But there was two in there again. So he wanted £1 each for them. So a £1 for Wii Sports Resorts. Fantastic, pick that up. He also had Wii Sports, but it wasn't with the Wii games. He was sending loads of CDs as well. So when I said how much you want for that, he said just 50p for that. So I thought absolutely fantastic. So £1.50 for those two. Fantastic, absolutely brilliant, getting a good return on some of these. This next one was just a game just sitting on its own in the middle of nowhere, 50 pence, Star Wars. I wasn't there, they've got some weird naming convention with these. Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy. They don't seem to match the movies, these Lego Star Wars games. I always find them confusing. I've already got this in the collection. It's a decent copy, nice booklet, so I'll be moving that on 50 pence. Fantastic. This next one, the guy had a couple of PS3 games, not too, again, quite fodderish. I picked these because he only wanted 50 pence each, but the other ones weren't even worth 50 pence. Infamous and Batman the video game. I've never played Infamous. It's one of those games I look at and I always think I should give a go, but just never get around to. It's a victim of the backlog. And Batman the video game, I think I've played these. I've said it so many times I get confused with the Batman games, what I haven't played. I've played a couple of them. I don't know if I played that one, but £1 for those two, not too bad. This one, so this was actually purchased in two times. So I think the first time, the guy had loads of games. I think I should have footage of this, so I'll put it around me so you can see it. He had loads of PS2 games. I think he had a couple of Wii, maybe a couple of PS3 and things. He wanted £1 each a game. He weren't budging, which is fair enough. It was quite early in the morning. I was rummaging through. I picked these two games up off him originally. It's Need for Speed Underground. Fantastic game. The best soundtrack on the PS2. I get confused with Need for Speed Underground and Underground 2, but I think both the game's soundtracks were amazing. So Need for Speed Underground, an absolute staple in anyone's PS2 collection. SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain. So this is often called the best wrestling game on the PS2 or of all time, depending on who you ask. I do like the wrestling games, but I don't know enough about them to give an opinion as to whether this is the best WWE game out there, but it's certainly up there in the rankings. So yeah, SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain, fantastic. I then walked around and came back to him as I was leaving. I had another rummage through and I found two other games, which I'm surprised I must have phased out and not seen them. But The Thing and Shadow of Rome. Now The Thing, this is a hidden gem. This is a fantastic PS2 game. You really should have this in your collection. It's got a really interesting mechanic where if you've seen The Thing, you're trying to find out. It's also like a sequel to the movie as well. They go back to the Arctic Outpost, whatever it is, they go back there. So this is like a follow-up. If you like The Thing, you must play this game. It's a fantastic game with an interesting mechanic where you are trying to build this trust meter and try to find out if The Thing is taking over one of your colleagues or what have you. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Get on that. And then another one, Shadow of Rome. I picked this up last year. I didn't know about it. I've played it. This is another fantastic game that doesn't get anywhere near enough attention. It's basically you're in the Colosseums, Roman times, whatever the hell it is. But fantastic, really gory, good little slasher game. This is fantastic. These two games, if you don't have them in your PS2 collection, pick them up. £2 I played for those, so £4 for those 4 PS2 games, quality that is. That's absolute quality. I have all 4 already in my collection. Otherwise, I'd be keeping hold of those definitely. And they're all in pretty good condition as well. Pretty good condition. I might put these on Vinted because they are they're a fantastic little bunch of games. They are. And the last one, this was a great little pickup. So it was just these 4 games, no other games, just these 4. I asked how much they wanted for their Xbox games, and they were just one of those where they were just sort of a dismissive 50p. I was like, 50p. Plants vs Zombies 2. Never played it. I don't think I have it, so I'll probably be keeping hold of that. I've never understood what the whole Plants vs Zombies thing's all about, so I should really give it a go. I can't see how the two things come together to make a game. Anyway, 50 pence, fantastic. This one, so this is Steep Winter Games Edition. If I scan this, CEX sell this for quite a bit. However, in there, it just says Steep, but the manual Steep Winter Games Edition. So I have a feeling it's the case for one game and the disc for another one. I don't have Steep, I've never played it, so I might have to keep hold of that one because it's a different case. The case doesn't match the game, basically, from what I can gather. But Steep, not too bad, 50p. Call of Duty Black Ops 4, had that many times. And the best one in this, 50 pence for this, is Minecraft Story Mode. So this isn't the season disc, this is the complete thing, episodes 1 to 8. This sells for about 20 odd quid in CEX. Unfortunately, it is the ESRB, but it works absolutely fine over here. I've actually already installed it and had a go on it on my Xbox just to make sure it works. So I've always got this thing where I'm happy to trade this into CEX because I know if someone else buys it, it's going to work because I've tested it. So, you know, I know CEX don't take the American ratings, but they work, so who cares? If they don't take it, I'm more than happy to add that to my collection because I don't have it. And like I say, I played it very briefly. It looks okay. So, yeah, £2. Banging, absolute banging. So this week, yeah, I think good variety there. What about Xbox One, PS2, PS3, Wii, 360, PS4? Great selection of different games on different consoles there. I think there's some good return there as well. So I'm going to do that thing. I'm going to go to CEX and I'll be back in a minute. I am back from CEX. While I was there, I actually picked up a game, one of my favourite game series that I didn't know you could actually get in physical release. So I'm really excited to show you that one. Before we do that, let's start by doing what we do. Let's take away what everything you just saw cost us. Cost us £19.20. £19.20 away, so less than 20 quid this week for everything. Got the money back through Vinted and CEX. So on Vinted, we sold the Sanctuary DVD for £3. That's great. And also a subscriber bought a bundle off me. So they got Here Comes the Pain, The Thing, and The Shadow of Rome, a little PS2 bundle for £10, which I think was a decent deal, so I hope you enjoy those, mate. And then also CEX gave us £5 for Minecraft on the Xbox One and £5 for Lord of the Rings on the Xbox 360. So 10 and 3, £23 back. So let's stick that up there. So that's how we got everything for free. That's how we do it. We got a load on voucher. Voucher went well. So Grand Theft Auto 5 on the PS4, £8. Wii Sports Resort normal DVD case, £6. Lego Star Wars 2, £1.60. Ratatouille, £6. Wii Sports cardboard sleeve is £5. Call of Duty 2 is £5. Black Ops 4 is £2. Need for Speed Underground, £2. Steep, £1.20. It was the wrong case to the wrong disc, but he just took it as the normal disc because that was the bulk standard version. So £1.20. Not bad at all. And then also Liberty City, which is a game that I had the other week which they didn't take, so a little scratched. Happy with it this time. They gave us £4 for that as well. So that's £45.80 on a voucher. Let's stick that up there. So we got it all for free. £45.80 on a voucher to put towards games that we really want to add to the collection. Is fantastic. And we got a few things here. So first things I'm going to say is Batman the video game and Infamous. They didn't give too much for these, so I think I'm just going to put these to the side again with that little PS3, which I'm just sort of building up in the corner, which is getting bigger and bigger. I'm just going to put those to the side because you didn't get too much for them, so I'm just going to put those to the side. Other things as well. So yeah, unfortunately, didn't have the receiver for these. They do work. I am just going to put these to the side. Hopefully, I'm going to figure out how to get a receiver to get these to work, to stick them in the PS2. It would be a shame if these are useless without that receiver, but I refuse to believe that you can't replace the receiver form. I may be incorrect. Again, if anyone knows, please put it in the comments. I would really appreciate that that information. I'm going to look into those. What we're going to keep. So we are keeping SSX Blur. I've had a little look at this. It doesn't look fantastic, to be honest, but I am going to have a little go on it because, like I say, I was a big fan of the SXX series growing up. So SXX Blur on the Wii, keeping hold of that for my collection. Also Shaun White's skateboarding. Again, this doesn't seem to be that great a game, but I am slowly, sort of, but not trying to get a complete Xbox 360 collection. So I'm going to be keeping hold of that one. And then these two. So Plants vs Zombies 2, I am keeping hold of it. You didn't get very much for it, and like I say, I'm very curious as to what this game actually is because I know nothing about it. So I thought I'd keep hold of it, add it to the collection, and I'll have a little go on it. So Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2, keeping hold of that. And then this one, so yeah, Minecraft Story Mode. So I'm going to be honest, I took this in to trade it, but I also tested it to make sure it actually worked before I took it in. So like I said, it's ESRB, so I know whoever picked it up, it's actually going to work. He was about to take it, and then I left the disc in my Xbox One. So I thought, do you know what, I'm going to keep it because I am curious to know, this is over 20 quid in CEX. I want to know why this warrants that price. So I'm going to keep hold of it. I'm going to have a go on it, see what it's all about, and I might try trade this in later down the line. But I am, for the time being, I'm keeping hold of that in the collection because it's, like I say, why is it worth so much money? There might be a good reason for it, but I just want to know, I want to know why it's so much. So this week, got all the money back, 45 plus pounds on a voucher, couple extras to the side, some pads I'm hoping will work later down the line, and a couple games added to the collection, which is absolutely fantastic. But like I say, while I was in there, I saw a game. I had no idea that this was on physical release. I've never seen it before. I am going to say it is one of my favourite games on the Xbox One. It's a little trilogy. I played it a couple years ago and I absolutely love it. And it's cheap as chips as well. The Banner Saga Trilogy. So let's take £6 off the voucher total for this one. £6 very well spent in my eyes. The Banner Saga. So it is like a turn-based RPG. Picture a sort of Lord of the Rings world. So there's the 3 games on this disc, and they don't take too long. So you're sort of like the race of men, and there's like these sort of Minotaur-like guys with you, and I think there's like elves and all sorts. And it's that story of, there's these things, I think they're called the Drench, something like that. It's been a while since I played it, but they're sort of taking over your world, and you go on this sort of resource management quest, and you've got to take your caravan and you go across the world and try and resolve the issue. Basically, it's very Lord of the Ringsy. It's got this sort of weird Disney 1970s 80s art style to it. I absolutely love it, but the gameplay is similar to, say, it's a turn-based RPG. So picture XCOM, and you've got your archers, you've got your heavies, you got dual swords, and there's so much to it. But it's such a lovely game series to sit down and play. And the resource management is fun, and there's these random events that happens, and the story, I've really enjoyed the story. You can build your team, and then you can build up their weapons and their stats, their health, their strength, that sort of thing. But it's just a beautiful series, and I found it randomly. I think they gave it away on Xbox Gold or something, the first one, a couple of years down the line. But I have played and completed all 3 of these. Absolutely love it. I don't recommend too many games, and I'm cautious about recommending this one because I think some people will really enjoy it. Others probably won't as much, but me personally, this is one of my favourite Xbox One games that I've ever played. Well, there's 3 games in one, but all 3, I just love the art style and the gameplay, and I think the story is fantastic. So as soon as I saw that in there, I had no idea you could get it as a physical disc. So £6 for 3 games essentially for me is an absolute bargain. But if you like Lord of the Rings, you like XCOM, you like turn-based RPGs, haven't played this is an absolute must for me. So I'm really glad to be adding this one to the collection. So this is a big win. You probably tell from the smile on my face, big win. I have already played it, but I might play them all again now that I've got them on the disc. So yeah, absolutely love this. Absolutely love it. So thank you very much for joining me. Take care of yourselves.